followed by Guru. Oh. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्ति द्वन्द्वातीतं एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं सद्गुरुं तं अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्री गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो ईश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री श्री So today we are starting with the third blossom, Tritiya Unmesha. This Unmesha is dedicated to such sadhak who is deeply engrossed in Mahamaya or deeply engrossed in mundane world. The initial 10 sutras are about the Mahamaya, how a sadhak can get involved in such things, how he can come out of Mahamaya. And the other 35 sutras are pure highest knowledge that's about a yogi can attain and how he lives with that. Very beautifully many rahasyas or many mysteries are resolved through these sutras. So very important. So we'll see what is a Mahamaya. We quickly see, we have already seen that Mahamaya is the is thickly spread over the world that is grips the mind and consciousness very tightly. That is called Mahamaya. Means in Mohamaya, the person, the sadhak can get attached to one of the moha, one of the mundane world. But in Mahamaya, the sadhak, though he or she wants to do sadhana, but totally involved in mundane world and mainly Shatavikara. So we know the Shatavikara, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Madam. So here we will see the first sutra, Atma Chittam. Consciousness is self. Generally, common people feel that the self or the Atma Tattva is what the human being's chitta. This is a common misunderstanding people carry. And if the sadhak is also carrying this type of misunderstanding, it will not help him or her to go beyond just cross the Maya and start sadhana. So that's why here Shiva says, don't consider Atma, Chitta as a Atma. Atma is reflecting to Satchit Ananda, is the state of Atma. And this is in human form. Atma Tattva or Shiva Tattva is illuminating through these three aspects. And as a human being, the self perceives the world around him through the Chitta that we know. Chitta is the final part, the most important part of Manomaya Kosha. Through this, the human being perceives the any type of knowledge or any type of information. So Ramana Maharshi has beautifully said that the mind is consciousness which has put on limitation. That earlier also we have seen this part. A person is originally unlimited and perfect. Later, the person takes on limitations and becomes the mind. Everywhere you must have you must or you may find that many saints or gurus, they only refer about mind. They hardly touch the part like consciousness or chitta. They generally refer it as a mind because mind is the term people can understand through. They don't know what is chitta actually. This four parts of Antakaran Chatushtaya. But to make this higher knowledge in a simple way, many gurus also they call it as a mind, but it's not mind or it's not manas. The chitta is very important. So, but here Ramana says that due to avidya or due to shatavikara, the common person's consciousness of the chitta becomes limited and reflects as mind. That's why many people or 99% people, they don't get inclination towards sadhana or to spiritual aspects of the life. They are totally involved in a mundane world because they are in a clutches of mind. They only think or act upon whatever thoughts are coming in the mind. That viveka part is almost nil in such type of people. They cannot discriminate what which thought is good or which where I should put my energy. So that about 98% energy is only getting wasted in reacting on the thoughts that are oozing in mind. Mind means full of thoughts only, and that is the what we get the information from our sensory organs. That becomes thoughts, and that remain in the mind in a very lucid form. So it can take us to anywhere. Which thought is predominant in our mind, that thought takes away all our attention, all our energy, etc. You must have find एक कोई एक जब विचार बहुत प्रबल हो जाता है, that time all our energies are focused there only. So that's why we should focus on chitta, but don't consider that chitta is the self or the atma tattva. So the next the more the constraint here is the considering chitta as a atma, but it is not a true thing. The sadhak should understand what is that. Then jnana bandha, knowledge is bondage. So worldly knowledge and information is based on the information received from sensory organs, and we can uh, divide it into two parts grossly. One is prayers, means which is favorable for our comfort zone, but not so inclined towards spiritual gain. Whatever mundane world is there, we find those things very, very favorable or very good for us. Actually, they may not good for us. That is called prayers. And the second is shreyas. Means it may not give much material comfort, but help in spiritual growth. Like doing pranayama, doing yoga asana, sitting for meditation. Many people, they don't want it is a good thing. They feel it's a constraint. They become very restless in hearing the knowledge part also. Why? Because immediately it is not giving any effect. In a long term, if you are going to have some spiritual sadhana, then such type of knowledge is very essential. So that discrimination should be there with the sadhaka, that which is prayers and which is shreyas. You got it. So getting early in the morning, it's a good thing for health also, for spiritual sadhana also. But it is not prayers. We generally people want to sleep up to 7, 8, is it not? So this is, we can, on material level, we can say that this is a prayers and stress. So the knowledge is mainly the information that we gathered. Then, and these are mainly opinions of others, or sermons by some other people, or thinking on the various aspects, that with the help of our memory, that also continuously happening. Even our ego also plays a greater role in that. Our buddhi, if it is not correctly applied, then the thoughts get very different turn, and we get involved with those things. Many times we become very restless only because the thought process is not properly happening within us. So why it happens? It is basically happens due to avidya, means not having the ability to grasp the knowledge in a proper way or in a proper perspective. That is avidya. And generally people feel that all this sadhana and thinking about scriptures or reading scriptures, applying all these things in day-to-day life, or doing mantra japa, etc. These things are not for the grahasthashram. This is a general concept that if you want to read Gita, just read after retirement. This is what so many people think. Even when I start reading Gita when I was in 6th standard or 5th standard end or 6th standard, during that time I started reading and understanding Gita. So many my own relatives used to tease me that you should not read such type of grantha right now. You read it after 60 or whenever you become free from your responsibilities, like that. But it is not true thing. You should have your spiritual aspects in your life as early as possible, because that will lead you the better life. With having better viveka, discrimination powers increases with sadhana. So during sadhana, such person spreads major portion of life in avidya and knowledge with many bondages, because this knowledge is not free from bondages. That's why these are very less, there are very less chances that the seeker remains active in spreading of knowledge, because you see many people, most of the people who are engrossed in Mahamaya, they are very away, very much away from the Shiva Tattva or the wisdom part. Even that you can find in their talks, in their what you call their own choices, they are very different because they don't know what is the spiritual aspect of life. So cleansing of Manomaya Kosha is mainly activity to see and realize the difference between knowledge and ignorance. So this is a part of sadhana. So what Shiva says next is Kala Dinam Tattva Namo Aviveko Maya. This is the third sutra. In that Shiva says the absence of discrimination of the principles like Kala, etc. means Maya, or what generally people says illusion. But we'll see the 7 aspects or the 7 principles. They are pure and blended principles. 2 are pure principle and 5 are blended principles that create some type of hurdle in spiritual life. So first we'll see what is Maya. This is the word we frequently use, but Maya is the perpetual happening around. Maya is the Shakti that we have seen in previous sessions also. The human being generally see himself or herself with a limited perception with respect to physical body. And the person who is in Mahamaya, the person thinks or feels that the body is the only thing. There is no other existence than the body. And his all actions, reactions, all karma are related to body only. Keeping the body fit or enjoying different types of aspects of life only for the body. They are always in a body conscious state. So they also feel that our body or myself or the person is away, is different, and the God is different. So continuously they are in a Dvaita state. So they don't know how to be an Advaita, or they don't know what is Advaita. That is, they are in a thick Mahamaya. So with this very limited sphere of human body, we cannot understand the main Atma Tattva. That is the biggest constraint. So Maya, which is a pure principle, generally misunderstood by many people as the illusion part. So this is a sort of limitation that happens at the level of Chitta when we consider Maya as an illusion. Then the second pure tattva is Purusha, is the self or the Atma tattva. It is the amalgamation of Shiva and Shakti and pure in nature. It's very pure. We know that our Jivatma is combination of Shiva and Shakti. Finally, Shiva is Shakti is Shiva only, but as we are in dynamic state, Shakti prevails, and Shiva is generally remains in a dormant state. So that is why Purusha is called as a combination of Shiva and Shakti, and it's the tattva responsible for the appearance of aham or I consciousness. Why we have the consciousness about our existence? Only because of the Atma Tattva. Atma Tattva, this body and other layers are the uh, is the abode of the Purusha or Atma Tattva. And Atma Tattva reflects through Satchitananda. That is a pure state of Shiva. Then we'll see the 5 limitations of these are also called Kanchuka in Kashmir Shaivagam, or called coverings. That limitations don't allow us to grow in spiritual field. So it is a part of Mahamaya. So we'll see what is Niyati. Niyati is a first covering. So it is a limitation of space is called Niyati. With this gross body, human being occupies a definite space. We can even walk on the earth, but we cannot go away from the earth. We cannot reach to other planets or to any other space with a normal body. This is a one type of limitation that we feel. If the sadhak is aware about the subtle body or the sukhamaya deha, then he will understand that what is my body, what is my limitation. The body has limitation of space, etc. That is the knowledge part. And then the second limitation is kala, limitation of time. This part we always see kala, the limitation of thala and kala, but here are 3 more also there. So this is a limitation of time. We cannot we cannot go in past, we cannot see our future. This is the limitation because time is relative term with respect to earth. If we are living on the earth, this limitation we are finding. It is very relative term, kala. In space, the kala term is different. If after the death, the person, the Atma Tattva, they go in Pitraloka, and there the time concept is different. Our entire 1 year is 1 day for them. So once in a year, we do the Pitru Tarpana and we offer them food and all. This is the principle behind that they take one's food in 1 day. So that is for a 1 year for us. So that is means what I'm trying to say, that the time concept or the time frame is different all over in the universe. It is different, at earth it is different. So hence we cannot see our past life that we are discussed, but we experience limitations of time and hence have limited age also. We have some defined 70, 80 years, 100 years. In Treta Yuga, people used to live up to 500, 600 years also. In Satya Yuga, 1000 years also. That is a different yugas are there, and depends on their status on earth, the limitation of time happens with the person. So the raga is the third limitation we can say. It is the attachment or entanglement and very prominent thing. Many people get attached to money, fame, relative, deities, even with the guru also. So this is the attachment. And this is very, very subtle, and we can say that this is a part of many people's life, that they suddenly get attached to anything. The discrimination part, Viveka part is very less here. Then the next is limitation of wisdom, vidya. This is very important thing. The wisdom is the perspective drawing on the unlimited knowledge that we receive from the Vijnanmaya Kosha through our pure chitta or consciousness is the wisdom part. That what we get. So this is also called as a vidya. I mean, vidya is being used with the help of buddhi. If your buddhi is not reached to certain higher level, or our abilities to understand the thing, reflect on such thing is not that much clear, or we are at very lower level of intellectually very lower level, then it creates a limitation. Then having perspective about the vidya with very low intellect can create limitation. For a spiritual sadhak, this is one of the biggest limitation. If your buddhi is not working properly, you cannot understand the knowledge, you cannot even understand the wisdom that is getting downloaded. By chance, if the wisdom starts downloading, then if your buddhi is not prepared to that level, you will not understand what is being received, and simply then you don't act with the wisdom also. But ego can come in this way also at very subtle level, and this can happen with siddhas of higher level also. This type of kanchuka, this type of limitation can happen. Then the fifth one is kala, or limitation of actions, that we have seen in previous sutra, also one of the previous sutra, that the human body acts in a defined sphere that we have seen, and has limitations of physical state of gross body. The spatial action is also called as kala. Then Krishna is having 16 kala, Rama had 12, Hanumanji has 14. We as a general person have 6 to 7 kala. And who is having doing spiritual sadhana, attending higher levels, they go up to 8, 9. These are the various levels. So due to the absence of power of discrimination, viveka within, the person observes tinted effects of the five tattvas, the limitations, which create an illusion about the separateness of the self from the things around. Because of this kanchuka, because of these limitations, the person is not able to understand the Shiva Tattva or his own Atma Tattva properly. So the Purusha within remains dominated by the illusion. Maya is there around, but the Purusha gets dominated by the illusion, by the limitation of our own chitta, buddhi, etc. So this above limitation, kala and other are observed in various forms and names in the world around. It is aviveka. Shiva says it is aviveka, lack of discrimination. Because of that, all these things are happening. So what is kala? We will see in the next sutra. Shiva says, Sharire samharaha kala nama. What is sharir? Sharir means our own body here, or the other two bodies also. Samhara means annihilation. Annihilation of the world, and represents one of the fivefold duties of, or the panchakritya of Shiva. The Vaishvik, the cosmic energy, Shiva, getting into Shakti and having these five aspects of or activities, whereas Shakti has three activities and Shiva has five activities. We have seen that Shakti is creation, maintenance, and getting or destruction, we can say. Here, the Sarga is the first activity, we can say, Krutya of Shiva, that creation of the world or universe. Then Sthiti means its maintenance, and Samvara means its annihilation. So these three are related to Shakti also, because Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are part of Shakti. But the fourth is very important. Tirobhava is the removal and concealment of the world. After the destruction, the removal and concealment of the world is very important. And that happens at mega level through the black holes. The energy is getting merged in the black hole, That is a tiro bhava. And from there, again, the kinetic energy goes in a static form, like a Shiva Tattva. Shiva is static form. So tiro bhava is the concealment of the word in the black hole at mega level. And the fifth is anugraha, the state liberation from the cycle of death and birth, which is a boon or blessing here. That anugraha of Shiva means you are getting out of the cycle of birth and death, because we don't have choice. We have to come on the earth again and again only because of our own karmas. And here, what is the anugraha? You are getting out of your karmas, your chitta becoming clean. There is no memory, nothing in your memory. You don't carry. Your all karmas are nishkam karma. So that is an anugraha from Shiva, and it is a kritya of the Shiva. So these are the 5 expressions of Shiva Tattva, who is seen as illuminating universe as Shakti. Shakti is having 3 kritya, whereas Vishnu, Shiva having 5 krityas. So at the cosmic level, samhara is the conversion of matter into energy. In cosmology or in physics also, quantum mechanics or quantum physics, the entire universe is energy, and whatever is being seen is matter also. So this conversion of matter into energy, especially the mutual conversion of a particle and an antiparticle into electromagnetic radiation. This is the science behind that. This is quantum physics, that everything becomes again the electromagnetic radiation. The matter is getting converted into energy as electromagnetic radiation. And the 5th one is the cause of salvation for the human being on earth. So the activities, what we observed in the 5 elements by sadhaka, everything is created by earth. If you see our activities that are happening on the earth, they are all related to earth. Is the first principle, Pancha Mahabhuta, one of the first Mahabhuta is earth or Prithvi. Then everything flourishes by virtue of water. If water is not there, there won't be having any life on the earth. The first life got created in water only. So everything is urged by the fire. If you don't have the fire element, you will not sustain. We have the Jatharagni, it's the fire in our belly, so that we feel hungry. When we eat, that gets digested. These are all the fire elements actions. And everything is removed by wind. Wind is there, prana is there. So everything, why the movement is happening? Because of the 4th element, wind or vayu. And everything is blessed by the space. Everything, all the 4 elements are happening in the 5th, that is Akasha Tattva. It is happening in the 5th element. That is being always there. And so the hara means samhara means annihilation in the fire element takes place. Everything is urged by the fire. This is very subtle knowledge we can see in this. And a human birth also observes these stages. We know that this is a cycle of birth and death without having their own control on this cycle that we have seen. So sadhak, as it is the stage to know the actions of Maya, get detached and go towards the sadhana. That is what a sadhak can do. A sadhak must be aware about the Maya, about the Mahamaya. And when during this sadhana, the anugraha, the bliss of Shiva is always there. But our mind, our chitta should be able to understand that aspect. That his anugraha is all over, because it is a panchakritya. It is his continuous work that Shiva is spreading his anugraha. His blessing is always there, but the person should understand this is there. So the human being with a grip of Mahamaya considers the body as everything, and this is also a type of lack of discrimination, like that Shiva has told. Then the special action is also called as Kala. There are 16 different actions, activities that human can perform with his gross body. So the restrictions, what the human body observes, it is regards to time and space, and because of the false concepts of the gross body. This is the restriction that is being felt when the Mahamaya is very prominent. So these concepts needs to be removed from the mind, and that is a knowledge can help in this area. When you get the proper knowledge, you can think on this. You can get rid of such type of misconceptions, and the such realization is possible. Having doing sadhana is possible. That's why Shiva is further explaining how it can be achieved. So the fifth sutra is Nadi Samhara Bhuta Jaya Bhuta Kaivalya Bhuta Vruttakani. Aligning the nadis will help getting a command on the elements, bringing ultimate bliss from the elements and fusion of the elements. So we have seen the 5 Mahabhutas. So how we can align them, how we can bring them together, and how we can understand them. So we can understand them through the nadi. We have seen this a part of pranamaya kosha. There are 72,000 nadis. Out of that, 10 are prominent, and 3 are most important. Na Ida from the left nostril, Pingala from the right nostril, and Sushumna runs in between those, and Sushumna runs from Muladhara to Brahmarandra. So with the help of stabilizing these nadis and properly circulation of prana through these nadis, we can attain so many things. That is what Shiva is telling. See, what is pranayama? Pranayama is the proper circulation of the prana shakti within the body, and that is happening through the web of nadis and definite centers, 108 centers. Through these centers and nadis, the prana tattva is getting circulated within us. That is doing so much. So many cleansing is happening because of the proper circulation of prana. That's why pranayama is very important in sadhana. And ultimately, what happens when the prana is properly circulating within our body, our mind gets stabilized. So wavering of minds very much is getting reduced with the help of pranayama. That is the principle behind that. So here Shiva is saying, we have seen this Nadi Chakra part in earlier sessions. So quickly we have seen what happens. Even the Dvadashanta Mandal is there. There are higher chakras, and the Sushumna that gets terminated at Brahmarandra, at Sahasrara Chakra. After that, the realm of cosmic energy starts. So getting attached to this, we can call it as yoga. So regulating the prana force in the nadi wave and balancing the chakras with the help of pranayam, kriya, bandhas are there. There are so many types of bandha. These are all practices of hatha yoga. That are very important. And this is a tantra and a process of getting command on the elements. This is a tantra part. These are all techniques. Tantra means technique. That is what Shiva is telling this technique about. This Bhutajaya means what? Bhutajaya means earth, water, air, fire, and space are the 5 bhuta in human body, and with the help of prana regulation, one can achieve control over the 5 elements. That is what Shiva is telling us. That with the help of only pranayama, proper pranayama, you can have the Bhutajaya. You can have control over the 5 elements. Then Bhuta Kaivalya, bringing ultimate freedom from the elements. Our limitations are directly related with the Panchamahabhuta, because gross body is directly related with the Panchamahabhuta. When you get this control over the Panchamahabhuta, you find a freedom from them. Kaivalya is such a state of very having bliss and harmony within our chitta. So this Bhuta Kaivalya also happens. And when the elements are under control, our feelings, emotions, all are under control. And these elements become harmonious with the prana. That is what is very important thing happens here. When the prana is stably moving within our body, we can have the control on the bhuta and having the bliss of the bhuta. Why we get different types of what you call diseases or disorder? Because we are not in tandem with the rhythm of the bhuta. All the five bhutas, five elements have a different rhythms. When we are not getting through or we are not being with that rhythm, we feel some sickness or we get some disorder or diseases. This is a basic thing behind that. And Ayurveda is based on this principle that they are only treating the bhuta. Then the bhuta prutthakani means fusion of elements. Then such sadhak can disband the elements whenever required. After having the control, having a blissful alignment with all the bhutas, then what happens? Bhuta prutthakani. The elements, whenever is required, he can disband those elements also. So confined gross body form is there, but there is and that is being handled by making small or very huge. Like these are the siddhis. Bhuta prutthakani is a part of siddhi. And these siddhi remain dormant when we are not in tandem with the elements or the five elements. So here we'll stop today. Next we'll see 3.6 onwards about the moha. And this moha part is very, very important. See, generally we are the sadhak who is in Mahamaya is completely in the clutches of Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. And Shiva has considered only one of the Shatavikara, that is Moha, is the basic, is a source of all other five elements, of all other five Vikaras. That we'll see in the next session. Yes, question.
So, ma'am, to overcome moha, uh, if we are having moha, only sadhana will help us.
That's the next sutras are based on moha, how the moha envelops our chitta and all other things, and how it envelops the siddhi also. So moha is a basic culprit for the sadhak who is in Mahamaya, who is in a trap of Mahamaya.
Yeah. Yes. Because that is very, very, that is the main hurdle that even like I feel.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
If you consider first is a kama among the Shata Vikara, a kama is a emotion when we get attached to any body. When we get attached to any body, beautiful body or any body, then we get the sense of kama. So like that, krodha also, when we get, why we get angry? Because we innerly we feel that the person who is behaving in a different way should not behave like that. Is it not? That is a
Yes.
moha for the person.
Yeah.
If we are very inert, we can say having no attachment or nothing. For such people, we don't get angry. It is not. But when we feel innerly that the person should not act like this, with his actions only we get angry.
Yeah.
The subtle bhav is that. So moha
Yeah.
is the source of all the other five vasanas or vikaras.
Yeah. Like even if one wants to get rid, it's not so easy.
It's not
It's
so
not.
easy. No, it's
Yeah.
not so easy.
Yeah. Yes. That's the main culprit.
Understanding moha is very important. That is what the aviveka is. The word is coming again and again. Viveka is very important. And how viveka is become pure and active when we have some knowledge, when we think on the knowledge part, when we observe our day-to-day working. That satarkata, that awareness is very important in spiritual sadhana. That we should always observe our own acts, where I am going, with which is the action for that I am reacting. Is this necessary to react there, or it will take away my peace of mind? Is it necessary to react there? These are all the awareness part, and sadhak should always remain that. When the that's why Shiva has only talk about moha for the people who are in Mahamaya. If they can get rid of moha, other things will fall in place. It is so beautiful that the moha has not been referred in Yogamaya. You got it? Yogamaya is for the sadhaka who are at very higher level.
Yeah. The awareness is there, but overcoming is still, it still comes. It still comes and
That is a
grips.
sadhana. That is a sadhana. It's
The
very
whole,
difficult.
yeah,
It's very difficult.
yes. It's,
People feel that it's very simple to do, but when you really start accepting and acting on the principles of sadhana, no, then you need to spend lot of time, lot of energy with this. You have to get detached from many aspects of mundane world. Then only sadhana is possible.
yes. Yes. Hmm. Correct. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you got answer for that, Dakshina
Uh,
Murthy?
yes, ma'am. It was so beautifully explained by you. And one more thing that I could probably correlate is generally whenever we go, the charans of gurus are, displayed. Any satsang I've been to, so there has always been a picture of Guruji's charan. So probably that I thought that is also the South Pole, and that's how the energy flow happens.
Yes.
And that is why in our custom also we touch the feet of
Feet
the
of Guru or any
yeah
elders.
yeah
And that too,
so
left thumb is very important.
yeah
Left toe is
left toe is very important.
very important. But one very important nadi that runs from the left toe and it goes up to Agyachakra.
all
And
the
that
five all the five left toes, all the five,
first toe, big toe.
big toe, okay, all right. And one thing more, I'd heard that we should not be touching feet of, like, we have, it's a customary, any elder, we touch the feet to take the blessings. So somebody said, like, you should be a little mindful of whom you are coming in contact with. You should not be,
Yes. Generally, what happens, our family people, elderly people, they are having, they should have good wish about the others also. No? That's what we feel. That's why
yeah,
we touch there. But yes, there are certain people, they are not having good intention about you also. So you should bend, but you should not fish, you should not touch their feet.
yeah, yeah. So that was really enlightening. The way you explained was really beautiful.
That was a pure downloading of
Yeah.
1 minute. Within 1 minute, the download happened.
Yeah, that was really, and the yogic breath that we practice for chakra cleansing and all, that also makes use of the same principle, no?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, thank you
Ma'am,
so much. Yeah.
ma'am, Jai Gurudev.
Ma'am, left or right toe of the Guru, we have to touch.
Pardon, I'm not hearing you properly.
Left.
Left toe or right toe? Big toe.
Left
Generally,
toe.
they say right, left.
But
Okay.
left toe
Left
has this. This is a very what you call bohya part of that. What I am disclosing here.
अच्छा अच्छा, what I have heard is वो काल भैरव का
हाँ, काला
है ना
भैरव हाँ अष्टकम जब
का
बोलते हैं ना
मतलब हाँ
that time right right toe big toe is
left toe is step na that time, and
that
generally they say that all negative energy also goes away from that.
हाँ.
So I thought Guru ka right toe.
No.
Right?
If you
Okay.
are seeing Guru as a person,
Mm-hmm.
then it's okay. But Guru as a energy, Guru as an energy doesn't have any form. Even at least
Okay.
I remember many years I tried to touch Guruji's feet, but he is Avduta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is a total different for the people around us. ना बड़े लोगों के पैर छूना उधर. That we should touch the right.
Okay.
Ma'am.
अच्छा मैम वन क्वेश्चन हाँ
Yes.
Ma'am.
मैम वन क्वेश्चन
Okay,
Sorry.
please you ask.
okay okay I've seen many people cross their hands and touch the feet, so like the left hand is touching the right toe and the right hand is touching the left toe. They cross their hands while touching the feet of Satpurusha.
Yes.
Why is that?
That is the innovation of human mind.
Okay.
That the energy should come in a cross way to us. It is not the true thing.
Okay.
We are the epitome of energy. The Shiva is on our head with all energies of the universe. Is it not?
Okay, so simple plain also we touch like that, it's okay.
Basically, Guru doesn't like that we touch his feet or her feet. They don't like this.
And they
Why?
Guru
Feel that you are my part. The disciple or the Shishya is their own part. They don't see any difference. We feel the difference, but they don't feel any difference. That's why they don't give such importance to such mundane activities, other formalities, in short.
And Gurudev also says, na, when you come in front of me and you bend down, you miss my blessings.
Yes.
You're down.
Yes. In Amrutanubhav, Jnaneshwar Maharaj has written many shlokas for this. How Guru doesn't like Shishya doing all these formalities.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Because the Dvaita is there. Na?
Yes.
I'm surrendering to you means I'm finding Dvaita. You are at a higher level. I'm at a lower level. That's why I'm surrendering. So see the subtle bhav.
But that comes also out of respect. If they say there is respect, then there is a little difference.
Yes. That is what this tradition is going on. Guru Paduka, Archan and all other things. But for the sadhaka who are at very higher state, they don't perform such things. Because it has no meaning at all.
Okay.
And with very higher perspective, when you see that Guru is not different from you, then it is one and the same thing. Because of when the Sukshma Deha and Sukhamaya Deha are merged, only gross bodies are different. So why to do worship with a gross body? One gross body to another gross.
Okay. And whether we touch or not, his blessings are always there.
Blessings are there with us. We need to tap that blessing source. We need to put that pin in the switch.
Yeah. We feel only when we touch the feet, we will get blessings.
No, 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 it is not like.
Hmm. Hmm.
No need to touch his feet or her feet. No need. There are many saints, na, they don't allow anybody to touch them. You might have find this Shankaracharya and all. They are Karmakandavadi. They don't allow anybody to touch them. Because you know what is touching means. The sadhaka, though is on a spiritual path, etc., is okay. But they are not totally away from the Shatvikara. So that type of mala jisko bolte hai na, that type of impurities the sadhak also carry. So many guru don't allow to have the personal touch. Because you know what that at a certain level also in India also they hugging is not popular. You in South or in Maharashtra, hugging is not popular. Namaste is okay, or Vandan, Charan Sparsha is okay. Not hugging and other things are not. Only because whenever you are in very intimacy with other person, na, you carry those energies.
Okay.
That's why Ekapatni Vrat jo bola gaya hai na, having intimacy with one person only. The logic behind this is that you carry the energy from the other person when you go very close to that person. So at that level, it affects in many ways because every person carries different energies.
Didi, that is why generally those who are on the spiritual path also, they say that you are not supposed to eat in somebody's house or you're not supposed to eat outside food.
Yes,
that is also there, no?
Yeah, because food is the important part of our life. यथा अन्नम तथा मना, ऐसा बोला गया जितना जैसा अन्न हम खाते हैं वैसा हमारा माइंड बनता है, चित्त बनता है. इसीलिए घर की जो लेडी होती है उसने अपने घर के लोगों के लिए खाना बनाना ही चाहिए. Because when any person who is cooking, na, that all his impressions, his thought process, moods, everything gets transferred in the food. And then when we eat, we also consume those emotions. That's why you see in hotels also, whenever we eat in hotel or whenever we eat in any prasadam or at any temple or at matha ashram, that taste is different. That satisfaction after having the food is different. Even in at our ashram also, Bangalore ashram, all the cooks, they have to do Sudarshan Kriya before entering in the kitchen. This much attention Guruji is giving on the food. Even Raman Maharshi used to cook food for all his devotees. So cooking food, having all the pure way of life is very important. And one more thing I can suggest here that during the menstrual cycle, we should not cook food.
Okay.
This is very important. This is a part of, it is the waste that is getting out of our body. So if you see when we are passing stool or urine, do we cook? No. It's a short term, 5 minutes, 10 minutes job. That's why we can avoid that. Whereas menstruation is a continuous process for 3-4 days. But we must avoid cooking during that period. Or we should not take food from cooked by such lady.
Ma'am, in our family, this thing was being followed when I was a young child. We were not allowed to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
even at ashram also, Gurudev never allowed to have the kitchen safe.
Yeah.
Because the purity is important na, through anna.
And somehow this was not so properly explained, but Mama would say ki, the pickle will go bad or so don't touch. Don't touch.
Don't touch means you should rest.
Yeah.
While
Yes.
passing to, do we roam in the house? No. It's so simple. The funda is so simple. उसमें स्त्री मुक्ति वगैरह कुछ नहीं लाना चाहिए. freedom of expression and freedom of doing work. Nothing. You should follow what the people, elderly people has told. They may not knowing the energy laws behind that or the other aspects, spiritual aspects behind that, but that has been told many centuries. We have been following that.
And there was a lot of controversy about that one temple where women are not allowed to enter before the age of 54. So, I mean, I think last year or so, there was a lot of controversy where women are not allowed in that temple, no? Only after the age of 54. So, I mean, I could understand that that is because of the same reason. Like after 54, you become inactive. So then you're becoming, so to say, you're pure all the time.
Huh. This is only discharging waste from your body. Understand
Yes.
this simple funda.
Yeah. Correct. Actually, sadhana itself is purification of ourselves at all levels.
Sadhana is allowed during this period.
Yeah.
Only
Sadhana is
the asanas or other things are not allowed, means it is as per your health condition. But sadhana, jap, everything is allowed. Sudarshan
jap.
kriya is allowed. Japa is allowed.
So in our family, we were not allowed to go to the temple also. We were not supposed to touch.
That is the same Pandana. If you are passing through, do you enter in the
Yeah.
mandir or temple? No.
Mm,
Same thing. It's very simple. Why don't people understand? It's a great question for me.
yeah.
It's so simple.
Ma'am,
There is no discrimination as a or something like that. It is not a discrimination at all. Just understand the fundamental thing.
Yes, yes. Understood.
Because nowadays these young girls, they say it's a very natural process. Why do you have to discriminate? I mean,
It's very natural process to
they say
understand.
even Parvati Devi and Sita Devi also must have had their
Everybody, yes,
cycle. So why discriminate us? Like,
no, they used to sit in a separate room. When Draupadi was brought to the Rajya Sabha, the Duryodhana pulled her. She was in this cycle period. She was sitting in a different mahal. एक अलग mahal था उनके लिए. Earlier days also they used to follow all these things. And the woman gets rest also. No, in Japan, it has started. You just Google it. They are giving leave on these days. Stay at home, have rest.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Resting during this cycle.
ma'am,
Yeah.
I have heard about Kamakhya Devi.
Hmm.
So there they give, I mean, they consider that they give prasad as a one cloth dipped in that read something, and I mean, and they say there is a concept is like that in some, I mean, few months there is a menstrual period of Devi, so they dip that cloth and they give some. I mean, that is the prasad of that side. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so what about that, ma'am? And they said this is a very
This
powerful
is
chakra.
all mixed with the Jnana. This is the part. This Kamakhya Peetham is very powerful.
Huh.
But these all things are Andhashraddha part. Giving red cloth and what is that? They are considering as a Prithvi. During these days, they both the seed. Is it not? That is a period that time.
Yeah, actually, there are a lot of videos going viral where they show that the river has got red water flowing, and then they dip the cloth.
Yes,
And
yes, all these Andhashraddha, all they don't know the basics. And Shakti cult has come in between. They had all this Tantra, Viparita Tantra part. So when the true wisdom is away, all these things start happening.
mm,
That is not necessary.
Okay, ma'am. Again, one question that you said that like we must not touch some other person's leg, especially left toe. when we bow down to take ashirvad of elders and all, especially if we do sadhana. So, ma'am, what happen if we don't touch feet of of elders, few elders? Then their ego get hurts. So what to do? I mean, then ego problem creates. This happened to me once. I heard something like this, and I didn't touch feet. So
No, you from keeping some distance, you can bow down.
so I can bow down, but I just don't have to touch the feet.
Don't touch.
Okay, just bow down. That's it.
Try avoiding touching people. When you are a sadhana, try avoiding touching.
Okay. And ma'am, one again that Ida Pingala. Ida is from which side, left or right, or Pingala?
Ida left, Pingala right.
Pingala is right.
Yes.
And ma'am,
They crisscross at our this junction of in spinal cord, head and spinal cord. The junction is there. No? So there they crisscross and again reach to Argya Chakra.
so ma'am,
And there is a beautiful technique to open these two nadis at one time. And during Sadhyana, the Janu, after Yajnapavit, we wear the Janu, that thread. That thread is moved in such a way that both the nadis get open. That is the whole purpose of the Yajnapavita. 3 times a day, both the nadis are being open with the help of Yajnapavita.
That's worn only by the Brahmins.
Anybody, all can wear that, all can have Yajnapavita, all can have the ceremony of Vratabandha.
Okay.
Rama,
Guruji is opening for the ladies also, no? Open.
yes, Sita used to wear Yajnapavita.
Mm. And even this, after Sanyam course, Guruji had told that not to hug anyone or once you are in that sadhana.
Yes, one should not touch anybody.
Mm.
Yeah. Ma'am, we ourselves start feeling it. When we are doing sadhana, then like you don't want to touch people because you know that there is that energy transfer. So you don't want to be in crowded places and be around. So that feeling starts coming on your own.
Yes. Then automatically your chitta, when it is clean, they don't, chitta never allow you to do such things. The
Yeah.
discrimination part always comes. Viveka. Chitta is with Viveka.
Yes.
ma'am, function of the Pingala Nadi, that is on right side. What happen when only Pingala is active, and what happen when only what Ida is active?
So they control our body functioning. No?
Yes.
When Pingala is active, we can digest our food. That's why it is always advised that you should sleep on your left side after having food. Vamakukshi, that is called. So these are all related to our functioning of various glands.
Yeah, and when Ida is active, Guruji says, no, you should meditate.
So, like, ma'am, you said about food. After food, we should sleep on the left side. So that will
Digestion happens properly. Automatically your right nostril will be free, having maximum prana. That will help your Jataragni to digest the food.
all right. Yeah, and that is why in meditation, like relaxation, I generally tell people to roll over to the right side. So
Right
then,
side.
yeah, correct.
After having full meal, we don't meditate because there are chances to go and sleep. So Tuesday, we'll see the further part. Any other question? You can ask one question.
Ma'am, like before meditation, it's necessary to balance whole nadis. Like,
Yes, we have to do Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, na?
okay,
At least for 10 minutes or at least for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. You should do Nadi Shodhan Pranayam.
We do not hold while doing the Nadi Shodhan. No? We
No,
just
we don't.
breathe.
You have to take in and leave
Take.
it from the other nostril.
Can we do
When-
it in breaks?
Kumbhaka.
Can we do it like 5 minutes and then if you are
It's up to you. Slowly you should increase the time. Or you can do it frequently during the daytime.
small
Nadi Shodhan
batches?
Pranayam you can do, yes. And anytime you can do. When you are not having full lunch or something like that. After lunch, 2-3 hours after lunch, you can do Nadi Shodhan. This Nadi Shodhan is a part of Sandhya, Trikala Sandhya.
Hmm.
So, listening to knowledge will ultimately help us give up the avidya. The more we listen, the more the moha will follow ultimately,
Hmm.
because that knowledge will like start sinking in. Like now that listening, like we are all Shiva, Shiva is dark matter, always present. So that knowledge is, that fixation of that concept has happened now.
Hmm.
So like probably at the end of it, something more will happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is already happened. We don't understand with our chitta.
Yeah, Lord Krishna also says the same thing to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Thank you.
Yes.
That's a very big statement you made.
Okay, we'll meet on Tuesday. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Krishna.
Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.